Next we have Christina King, who's a clinical psychotherapist and founder and CEO of Aspen Strong. I understand you did some waitressing when you first arrived here. Maybe you want to share some stuff about that?
I've been in the restaurant business for 17 years.
17 years in the restaurant business, and now CEO.
No longer am I in the restaurant business, but it taught me a lot of things. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Christina King. I'm going to start off by talking to you about what it was like for me to sit in your shoes. When I look back, my auditorium was about 12 times, maybe 15 times bigger than this room. At that time, I'd always been an honor student. I had a twin sister. She raised the bar. But I began to lose myself. Maybe it was because my school was just so big. There was a lot of stressors at home, and that really affected me. I suffered from depression and anxiety. And to be honest, there were many days when I went home and I prayed and I said, can I just sleep? I just want to sleep. And I don't really want to wake up. I really suffered from sadness, from hopelessness. And when it became time to choose where I'm going to go to college, what I'm going to do with my life, I really didn't care. I used my sister's homework to pass some classes. Don't do that. And when my mom took me to college campuses, I just had no passion, no drive whatsoever. Absolute hopelessness. But I knew I had to go to college. It was an expectation of my parents, and inherently it was an expectation of mine. My sister, she knew exactly what she wanted to do, interior design school, University of Philadelphia. I went to community college. And I guess there was a part of me that felt like that wasn't good enough. And today I want to tell you, I am so glad I went to community college. I learned everything I needed to learn in those first couple years. As I suffered from depression, I used alcohol and food to cover my pain. I really suffered from an eating disorder, and it distorted my perception of reality. But I began to connect with certain professors and certain people that taught me about love, about choice, about forgiveness. It taught me that nobody's expectations are more important than my own. They taught me about emotional intelligence and about connection. And what I began to understand was that the grades didn't matter. No number equated to my worthiness. So often, people determine our success based on achievement. Chris Willard was a speaker at a symposium that Aspen Strong put on last year, and he says, empathy has been on the decline since 1970. And why is that? Because kids perceive from their parents that achievement ranks connection and empathy. There's something wrong with that. I go back to those years and I look at what success meant to me. I realized that in order to find drive and purpose in my life, I needed to find that within myself. Daniel Pink, he recognizes drive as three things. It's purpose, autonomy, and mastery. Purpose, to find meaning in what we do. Autonomy, to be self-directed. And mastery, to be able to learn more, to do more. The secret to high performance and satisfaction, he says, comes from that human deep need to be self-driven, to create and learn new things, and to do good and right by ourselves and by the world. What is success to you? Do you equate your success from your grades? What college you're going to go to? Your parents do that? Schools do that? The stresses are there, they're real, and it's important. The grades are important, but the grades are about what you think is important. Today, I still struggle with depression and anxiety, but I've taken the pain and the naysayers And I've turned that into fuel for my fire. That fire has become my own business. I feel like I'm a pretty successful psychotherapist in Aspen. And that fuel has also become Aspen Strong. Aspen Strong is promoting mental hygiene. It's teaching us about emotional intelligence. It's connecting all the mental health resources in our valley so that when you need help, you have a place to find it. It's creating hope. You know what hope is? Hope is 3 things. C.R. Lewis says, hope is knowing what our goals are, knowing the pathways and how to get there, and agency, knowing that we can do that. Today, I'm not that hopeless little girl in high school. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had no idea that Aspen Strong and my own practice would be my truth today. But I let the values inside of me and the people that I connected with, those teachers in my community college, I let them help me lead the way to find what was right for me. I created my own success. I want to tell you a little bit about emotional intelligence and why it's so important. Emotional intelligence is the capability to recognize our own emotions and the emotions of others. It's to discern the difference between feelings and articulate them appropriately. It's using that emotional information to guide thinking and doing and to manage and adjust emotions, to adapt to environments and achieve our goals. Conscious capitalism is a new movement across the nation, teaching businesses that caring for our employees and showing concern is what drives success. And not the numbers, not just the numbers, but giving people purpose, autonomy, mastery, and all measurements of success that increases when we care, when we have empathy. What I know about myself is that being resilient has been about being able to extract that self-love and the ability to recognize that internal voice that sometimes says that I'm not good enough. To listen to it, to hear it, and to say, yeah, I hear you. I got it. You know what? I'm not going to feed that today because I am good enough. You are good enough. So when all the pressures come down on you and you're trying to figure out where you're supposed to be, just listen right in here. Listen to that voice. Don't let that negativity overcome you. Realize, be curious with yourself. Ask yourself. Recognize the emotions. Follow them. Connect to people. Realize that no number will equate to your worthiness and that you have the keys to success. It's right here. Thank you so much, guys.